I think it's rolling. Hell yeah. Well, this is it. Welcome to the very first episode of Money with Jacob. I'm your host. As you probably can guess, I am Jacob. And this is the show where you bring me your questions and I answer them as if they were my own. And look, I'm not a financial professional. I'm not a financial advisor. But I am somebody that wakes up every single day and I need to make my own life, career, and money choices for myself. And my philosophy has got me to where I'm at today, 28 years old, $700,000 in a stock portfolio, and I have been debt-free for the past 6 years, and I wear that as a big badge of honor right here, debt-free, baby. So, I know whenever you're in the thick of life, sometimes it's just not so easy to make good, sound financial, career, and life decisions, and that's why I'm here. Shoot me your questions, email them to me at jacobbuildswealth@gmail.com. I'll drop that email below in the description box. And every single Tuesday, I'm answering your questions. I'm trying to be a beacon of light for you. Share with you how I would react to situations you're in and hopefully give you some good input. So let's kick it off. I got 3 questions today. Big shout out to my buddy Tim, an ex-colleague of mine, for sending me over some questions so we can kick this channel off, kick this very first episode off, and send me your questions too. I'd really appreciate it. All right, question 1. I'm 25 years old, making around $100,000 a year, and I want to buy my first home. How much house can I realistically afford with my income, and how much should I save up as a down payment before I buy? Before I jump into this, dude, Tim, you are freaking killing it. Bro, $100,000 a year, 25 years old, 6 figures, man. You're not even 30 yet. Like, crushing it, absolutely crushing it. I know we are both brothers in arms selling software out there together. Anyone that's wanting to make 6 figures, we got a swath of people in their 20s selling software, making 6 figures. Tim's out here crushing it. Good job, dude. Okay. So, you want to buy a house. You're 25. And the very first thing I have to ask you is, are you debt-free? You cannot have any debt as you go to buy your first home. 0. No student loans, no car payments, no credit card debt, no personal loans. You can't have anything. Don't have any debt. You need to be at 0 in terms of debt. And here's why. If you're 25 or any age, it doesn't matter, but especially at 25 and you got, let's say, $20,000 of student loans on your back. You got another $20,000 car loan on your back. You're already sitting at $40,000 of payments right now. Now you're talking about going and getting a house. I don't know, $150,000, $200,000. Let's say 200 grand. You're about to take on $200,000 as a mortgage. You got a $20,000 student loan and $20,000 car payment. You got $240,000 in payments you're going to be riding out for, I don't know, next 15 years, 10, 15 years. Oh my gosh, that stresses me out just thinking about it. No, we're not doing that. We are not going to be 25 years old or any age with over $200,000 in debt. I mean, anything can go wrong at any time. You can lose your job tomorrow and you just signed that paperwork. You just signed up for a 15-year loan. You just got that mortgage and now you have $240,000 freaking payments and no job. That is financial suicide. You're looking at it down the barrel. Don't do it. You need to have no debt right now as you go to buy your first home. If you don't have any debt, then check that box off. You are good to go. Start looking at your home now. All right, so the second part of it, how much house can you realistically afford? Well, you got $100,000 in income, and you don't want to spend more than 25% of your income going to your house. And that's because if you start to spend 30, 35, 40, 50% of your entire income, you have no money to go to anything else except your home. I mean, that is it. Your house is eating up all of your income. And unless you're a hermit, that sounds absolutely miserable. You're going to be stuck in your house all the time. If you are working from home, which I know you are, Tim, you're never going to be able to leave, dude. You're stuck there. Like, good luck. You can't go out. You can't go to restaurants. You can't go on vacations. You can't go do anything because all of your money will go to your house if you're spending more than 25% of your income on your house. And I know you're not married yet, but bro, imagine having some kids. Imagine having a wife. You're working from home and you're never leaving. Yeah. So 25%. 25% of $100,000, is 25 grand. That's how much you can be spending a year for your house. If you divide that by 12, all the months, that comes out to about $2,000, a little over $2,000 a month, but let's just call it flat $2,000. You can afford $2,000 a month for your house payment. Now, I know interest rates are about 6% right now. I'm not going to do the longhand math of all this crap and go and calculate what your HOA fees are, your insurance and all that. There's a lot of really good mortgage calculators on the internet. One of my favorite ones is Ramsey Trusted Mortgage Calculator. Come to the webpage and it's going to pretty much show you everything that you need to get into your home and how much your total monthly payment will be. So as soon as we land on the webpage, it says $200,000 home value. It shows you if you put $40,000 down, a 20% down payment, and you got a 15-year fixed, what your total monthly payments would be looking at. So you'd be getting a loan of $160,000 because you put $40,000 down, 20%, and you got your payment of $1,800 a month, which would be your mortgage, $1,394, and then you have to account for all of the other things too. You got property taxes, you got home insurance, you got HOA fees. That's cost. That's going to be real money coming out of your paycheck, and that does get calculated in to your total spend for the month of what you can go into your house. So we already said you'd be spending about $2,000 a month. And look, I hate debt. I hate it so much. I had $44,000 of student loans coming out of college. I paid that off, and I will I don't know. It's hard for me to even want to take out a mortgage because I never want to have debt again. But a home is the only thing in which I could get behind taking a loan out for, going into debt for, because you're going to be paying rent to somebody or you're going to be paying the bank. Yeah, if you pay the bank, you're going to have an asset at the end of it, so I get it. With that being said, if I took out a loan, if I took out a mortgage, if this were me, I'm going to want to I'm going to want to have a loan for the least amount of time as possible, and I'm also going to want to give the bank the least amount of money as possible. So for me, a 15-year fixed rate mortgage is the only type of loan I would take out to buy a home. I don't want to take out a 30-year because that means you're going to be spending more money and interest over time. And personally, I don't want to be best friends with my banker until I'm 60 years old. I'm 30 right now, right? You're 25. You're going to be best friends with your banker till you're 55 years old. That's not a friendship I want, and I doubt it's one that you want either. So take out a 15-year fixed and have a 20% down payment for your house. And this goes back into the second part of your question. How much should you save up for a down payment? You should save up 20%. Here's why. One, if you have 20% or more, you're not going to be required to pay PMI, which is a type of insurance required for home buyers putting down anything less than 20%. If you're paying PMI, that you're being too impatient to get into a house. Just keep renting until you can afford 20%, because then you're going to be spending more money on things you don't need. You don't need PMI if you're just patient enough to save up a 20% down payment. Second, if you save up a 20% down payment, you're going to possibly get a better interest rate from the bank because you're going to be borrowing less money from them. And then third, if you're borrowing less money from the bank, you're going to pay less money in interest over time. So minimum 20%, 15-year fixed mortgage. Now, how much of a home can you afford? Well, we already concluded that you can afford $2,000 a month. That's about 25% of your take-home pay. So right here on the mortgage calculator, it shows if you had a home value of $200,000 with that $40,000 down payment, 20%, your total monthly payment would be $1,802. We can bump this up. I mean, you can afford $200 more from here. So I don't know, $225,000 might be it. Yeah. You can afford a home worth $250,000, $225,000 right now based on your $100,000 income. That would mean that you put a $45,000 payment down, 20%. Your total monthly payments come out to $1,999 a month, and that's going to include your HOA fees, your home insurance, your taxes, and your mortgage. Your total mortgage is going to be about $1,500 a month. And at the end of this 15 years, at a 6%, 6.5% interest rate, around where interest rates are right now, you'll have a home, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 15 years, 40 years old, paid off home. You're getting it, Tim. You're getting it, brother. All right. Now, question number 2. Piggybacking off the first question, what should I do with my cash while I'm saving up for a down payment on a home? Should I be investing it in the stock market or just holding cash? What's the best option? This is such a good question because this is where we really start to dig into personal finance and math and just lifestyle. Mathematically, invest your money in the stock market. I don't know how long it's going to take you to save up your down payment, but it's going to be between 1 and 5 years, most likely, unless you just kill it like you have been your income. But it's probably going to take you between 1 to 5 years. And I say that because Bank of America put out a really good data set that shows from 1929 to 2023 in the S&P 500, the likelihood you are to win or lose money based on your time frame in the stock market. So for example, if you invest in the stock market for 1 day, there's a 54% chance you win and a 46% chance you lose. If you invest for 1 year, there's a 74% chance you win and a 26% chance you lose. And then if you invest for 3 years, there's an 85% chance you win, 15% chance you lose. And if you invest for 5 years, there's a 90% chance you win, a 10% chance you lose. So the longer you're invested, the more likely you are to come out ahead if you invest your money in the stock market. But even if you invest for only 1 year, I mean, there's a 74% chance you're going to come out ahead. Pretty good. I mean, that's a solid C, right? But here's the thing. Mathematically, it does make sense to invest. Emotionally, I wouldn't do it. I don't want to carry the burden of every single day wondering what the stock market's going to do. Is it going to go up or down? Are we going to have another GFC, a dot-com bubble? And then all of a sudden the market tanks and it doesn't recover for years? To me, it's not worth it. And I mean, if you're buying that $250,000 house, you're saving up a $45,000 down payment. Let's say you have $30,000 riding out in the market. What are you trying to get from that? 10,000 or 10%, $3,000? I mean, 10% on 30 grand is $3,000. You're willing to risk setting back your time frame of getting into a house for 3 grand? To me, it's not worth it. You know, I'm married. I have a wife. And I can only imagine if we were both on the same page, we want to get into a house, we want to start our, set our roots in the ground, really own a home, build this life together. And I'm like, hey, I had our $30,000 invested. The market just got a 50% haircut. Our 30 grand just got cut into 15,000. I'm delaying our time of getting into a house by 2, 3, 4 years. All because I wanted $3,000. I mean, when we put it that way, it doesn't sound wise at all. And this is where I say the personal finance and the emotions just kind of blend here, and you have to make the best choice, what I think would be emotionally and not mathematically. Eliminate the stress, eliminate the anxiety, like live with some financial peace. $3,000 is not worth the risk. That's the way I see it. And you don't have to leave this money in cash and just savings. You don't have to just lose to inflation and leave it in a checking account. You could put it into a high yield savings account like at Discover Financial. I've used their services before. They're pretty good. They have high yield savings accounts. I think they're paying out about 4.5% right now. So you're not going to lose to inflation and be in the negative. You're not going to get 10% back from the market, but you'll be in the middle. You'll get 4.5% on your cash as you just sit here and wait. That's what I would do. I would put the money in a high yield savings account. All right, the last question. What do we got? It seems like there are a ton of credit cards out there, and some of them come with really cool perks. But with so many options, what should I actually look for when choosing a card? Is it really worth spending time to find the perfect one? Or does it all just even out in the end? Credit cards. Credit cards, credit cards, credit cards. There are some people out there who absolutely despise credit cards, like Dave Ramsey. I love Dave Ramsey. I love his teachings. But I don't agree with him on credit cards are just like credit or monsters in your pocket, destroying your financial life. I also think that the people out there that are trying to game the system on their YouTube videos, putting out tons of content, opening up 10 lines of credit all the time just to get a free flight, I think those people are on the other end of the spectrum of absolutely ridiculous. Credit card points are a trap. And we don't use credit cards to get points. Like, I mean, you have to spend $1 to get 10 cents back, and then we get our 10 cents back. We're like, oh my gosh, thank you, credit cards. It's absolutely absurd. They are so convenient, and that's why they exist. It's so much more convenient to have a credit card than it is to be waiting for a check to get deposited in your bank account, and then you have to go cash it, and you walk around with $1,000 in your pocket. There's no security there. You get worried that you left your wallet somewhere, you lost $1,000. A credit card's better. Likewise, who wants to be writing checks, right? Nobody. So we use our credit cards. Credit cards are convenient tools, and that's all they're used for. So whenever you're looking for a credit card, just ask yourself one of two things. Are you traveling internationally a lot or not? If you are, get a credit card that has no international fees. And if you aren't, if you're just staying home, staying domestic, then just get the most basic credit card you can from your bank. It has no fees attached to it. They just give you the credit card, pay it off at the end of every month, never go over on the limit, and you're set. Everything else that comes with it on top of that convenience is just a cherry on top. There is no gaming the credit card system. And I say this as somebody who's built up a net worth of $730,000. In my household income, I can calculate from 2021 to now. My wife and I have brought in almost $800,000. We have a stock portfolio worth $730,000. Maybe I've gotten $10,000 in credit card rewards in that same time frame. 4 years, $10,000. We're talking about $2,500 a year. That's not moving the needle at all for me. It's such a waste of time to look into credit card points, try to game rewards in a game that's set up against us. Credit card rewards, we only get those if we spend a lot of money. We get 10 cents back for every dollar. That is it. So, do yourself a huge favor. Don't waste any time on choosing a credit card. Just get the most basic option that has zero fees to have the card, or get one that allows you to use it internationally where there is no extra charge to use it. And there might be a fee with that card, but that's fine because you'll make up for it if you're traveling a lot and you don't have to pay all those international fees. So, those were our 3 questions. I hope that helped you, Tim, as you try to maneuver through life. You're in the thick. Hope that gave you some clarity. Do not forget to write me at jacobbuildswealth@gmail.com. Send me your money questions. I will pretend like they are my own, and I will give you my honest opinion and tell you exactly what I would do if I were in your shoes. If you like that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next Tuesday.